Imagine a thread, thin, delicate, and almost invisible, stretching across mountains, deserts, and seas. That thread was the Silk Road, and it carried more than just silk. For centuries, the Silk Road was the lifeline between East and West. It wasn't just one road, but a vast network of land and sea routes connecting China, Central Asia, the Middle East, and Europe. Along these paths, caravans of merchants traveled for months, sometimes years, crossing dangerous terrain to trade not only goods, but knowledge, stories, and beliefs. Why was it called the Silk Road? Because silk was one of the most valuable materials traded, especially from China to the Roman Empire. But travelers also brought spices, gold, precious stones, and even new ideas in science, medicine, and religion. These routes began to form around 130 BCE and flourished for more than 1,000 years. Cities like Samarkand, Baghdad, and Constantinople became powerful centers of commerce and culture. People from different backgrounds, Persian, Arab, Indian, Chinese, and European, met, talked, and exchanged far more than money. The Silk Road became a bridge between cultures, helping the ancient world grow more connected. And just like these travelers learned new languages to survive and trade, you're here learning English to connect with the world. New words to remember: merchant, someone who buys and sells things; goods, items that are traded or sold; caravan, a group of travelers, often with camels, moving together across a desert. Welcome to Stories to Learn English, the channel where your English gets better every day. Hit subscribe and let's get started. Close your eyes and picture a young man standing at the edge of the Taklamakan Desert. His camel is loaded with silk, tea, and jade. He knows the journey will be long and dangerous, but he also knows one thing: the reward is worth the risk. This man is part of a caravan, a group of travelers moving together to stay safe from bandits, sandstorms, and extreme weather. Most journeys took months, some even lasted years. But the travelers had a dream: to reach great cities like Baghdad, Antioch, or Sion, and return home with riches and rare treasures. So, why did people risk so much to travel the Silk Road? First, the profits were massive. Items bought cheap in the East could be sold for high prices in the West. Second, there is curiosity about foreign lands, strange languages, and mysterious religions. Third, some traveled for faith, carrying sacred texts and teachings to new lands. As trade grew, so did the power of cities and empires. The Han Dynasty protected parts of the road, building watchtowers and sending soldiers to keep merchants safe. Later, the Roman Empire became a major buyer of silk, even though it had no idea where it came from. Much later, the Mongol Empire under Genghis Khan created the largest connected territory in history, allowing trade to flow freely for decades. But no empire lasts forever. The fall of empires like Rome and the Mongols often meant chaos and danger along the trade routes. Wars, plagues, and political instability could stop the flow of goods in an instant. Yet each time the Silk Road fell silent, someone would restart the journey. A new merchant, a new empire, a new idea. Because the desire to connect, share, and grow was stronger than fear. Useful English expressions and vocabulary: barter, to exchange goods without using money; fall of an empire, the collapse or end of a powerful civilization; goods, valuable products or materials for trade. Just like these merchants took bold steps into the unknown, every time you practice English, you're taking a step on your own journey, one word at a time. Imagine trying to trade silk for spices, but you don't speak the same language as the person in front of you. No translator, no phone, just gestures, hope, and trust. On the Silk Road, language could be a barrier or a bridge. Merchants from China, Persia, India, and Europe spoke different tongues, but they still needed to understand each other. How did they do it? They used interpreters, learned basic trade phrases in foreign languages, or created their own system of signs and gestures. Sometimes common ground was found in third languages, like Persian or Arabic, that became popular along certain parts of the route. Trade created a need for understanding, and understanding created opportunity. Fast forward to today. English is now that bridge language in much of the world, from airports to business meetings, from online shopping to academic research. English is the modern Silk Road, connecting people across cultures, continents, and industries. Interestingly, English itself carries echoes of the past. Many English words come from other languages traded on the Silk Road. For example, sugar comes from Sanskrit, orange, the fruit from Persian, alcohol from Arabic. So every time you speak English, you're not just using a modern tool, you're holding a piece of ancient history. New vocabulary and context: interpreter, someone who translates spoken language. Common ground, shared ideas or understanding between people. Mutual understanding, when two people or groups understand each other. Learning tip: like the travelers of the Silk Road, you don't need to speak perfectly. You just need to keep moving forward, one phrase, one word, one conversation at a time. What if I told you the Silk Road never really disappeared? That its spirit still flows through your clothes, your food, even your language. The ancient Silk Road may be gone, but its legacy lives on. The routes that once carried silk and spices now carry tourists, ideas, and technology. Many of the cities that thrived during the Silk Road era, like Istanbul, Tehran, or Sihan, are still major cultural centers today. And the influence continues to grow. China's recent Belt and Road Initiative is often called the New Silk Road, a global infrastructure project that connects countries through roads, railways, ports, and digital networks. It's proof that the idea of connecting cultures through trade is still powerful. But what does this have to do with English? Everything. The English language has absorbed words, customs, and ideas from many places the Silk Road once reached. And today, learning English allows you to tap into global conversations, whether in business, science, travel, or culture. You're becoming part of a revival of that ancient network, just with different tools. Think about it. Just like silk was once rare and valuable, English today is a tool that opens doors to opportunity. When you speak English, you're not just learning a language, you're joining a tradition of exchange, growth, and influence. Key vocabulary: legacy, something left behind from the past that still affects the present. Revival, bringing something back to life or popularity. Influence, the power to affect how things develop. You've just traveled thousands of years in a few minutes, from silk to ships, deserts to empires. But the real journey? That's the one you're on right now, learning English. Like the traders of the ancient Silk Road, you're crossing into new territory. It's not always easy. You might get lost, you might feel tired, but every word you learn is a step forward. Every phrase, a passport to the world. Learning English isn't just about grammar or vocabulary, it's about connection. The same kind of connection that built cities, shaped empires, and changed the world. So, what now? Keep exploring. Watch more stories, read real histories, practice with people from other cultures. Use English as your new Silk Road, a way to understand the world and make yourself understood. Challenge for you: Comment below with one new word you learned today: merchant, revival, interpreter, or any other. And if this story inspired you, share it with someone who's also on the journey. Remember, just as the Silk Road connected worlds, your words can connect you to endless possibilities. Hit subscribe for more real life stories that will transform your English, one journey at a time. I'll see you in the next video.